college professor has been caught on camera telling the truth. Your tax dollars are still subsidizing left-wing indoctrination. This is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
We have made it halfway through the week. Thanks for making the Texas Minute part of your Wednesday. If you enjoy the Texas Minute, I bet your friends and family will too. So please share this episode with them or tell them about our daily Texas Minute email that they can get for free at texasminute.com. That's texasminute.com. Let's get into the news. Taxpayer-funded lobbying in Texas has more than doubled in recent legislative sessions. According to a new report from the Texas Public Policy Foundation, the spending has risen as efforts to ban the practice continue to stall in the state house. Now, taxpayer-funded lobbying refers to the use of tax dollars by cities, counties, school districts, and other governmental subdivisions to advocate for or against legislation. These efforts can take several forms, including hiring contract lobbyists, employing in-house government relations staff, or funding associations that lobby on behalf of their members. Supporters of taxpayer-funded lobbying argue that local governments need a voice in the legislative process, particularly on policies that directly affect their operations and funding. Opponents, though, counter that the practice allows government entities to use public money to advocate for expended authority and spending, often at odds with the interest of taxpayers. The Policy Foundation finds that expenditures on lobbying by local governments grew from an estimated $47.3 million during the 85th legislature in 2017 to as much as $111.5 million during the most recent session. A poll conducted by Quinnipiac University last month found that Americans are taking an increasingly pessimistic view of artificial intelligence despite its rise in use, and they are growing more opposed to data centers. The poll found that 80% of Americans are concerned about the growing use of AI, and 65% of those polled oppose having AI data centers built in their communities. It turns out that Gen Z, which is those individuals between the ages of 14 and 29, is the most pessimistic about the role of AI in the future job market. 81% of them say they believe the technology will lead to a decrease in job opportunities. In an Undercover video produced by Accuracy in Media, a professor at the University of North Texas can be found bragging about how the institution has kept left-wing advocacy materials in its course content despite a bevy of new state laws. In the video, Paige Falco of UNT's College of Public Affairs and Health Sciences told the investigative journalist that DEI is, quote, definitely still a focus at the institution. Falco told the investigator that she just removes DEI key phrases from course titles and descriptions while continuing to teach the concepts.
It's one of those things where you have to, we need to follow the law because that's what it is and that's where we're at right now. But there's also ways that we can still kind of get around it.
A UNT representative told Texas Scorecard that the university, quote, complies with all state and federal laws and regulations. Maybe UNT needs to check out that video, because it sure doesn't seem like it. The Texas Minute will be right back.
The Luke Msia Show is your access to what happens behind closed doors in Texas politics. Listen weekly to me, your host, Luke Msia, as I break down what is actually happening in conservative politics in the Lone Star State, a state that we all love and cherish. Listen weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. This show is a product of Texas Scorecard.
A plan to build extra high-voltage transmission lines into the energy resource-rich Permian Basin has raised concerns among many in West Texas, including Republican State Senator Kevin Sparks of Midland. The senator wants answers on how the project will impact property rights, reliable power generation, and the overall cost to ratepayers. The Permian Basin Reliability Plan was originally authorized by legislators as a limited fix for a specific region. Since then, the Public Utility Commission of Texas has expanded it into a broader build-out with minimal public input, despite a $33 billion price tag that will be borne by the ratepayers. At a recent hearing, Sparks said he gets calls daily from property owners and ratepayers concerned about the project. The senator noted that with recent reports suggesting that the state's future energy generation would rest predominantly on unreliable and inefficient power sources like solar and wind, these costly new lines might not be delivering reliable power to Texans. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons, Hunter Burney, Adam Kahn, and Robert Montoya. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Now, let's go make it a great day.